presenting this book. It's called Beauty and the Beast: Lost in a Book. This book is technically a Disney book, but it's like for young adults instead of like for children. The author of this book is Jennifer Donnelly, and she has written other books, including the Waterfire Saga, and the book A Northern Light, which is a winner of Britain's Carnegie Medal, the Los Angeles Times Book Prize for Young Adults Literature, and the Michael L. Prince Honor. The main plot of this story is when Belle has to like free her father from the Beast's castle. So she ends up taking the place of her father when her father tries to take a rose. So and the Beast is actually a prince. So he's been cursed by an enchantress. And the enchantress's curse is that if he doesn't find someone to love him, and without, like, he gets this rose, and if all the petals of the rose fall down, then he's gonna be cursed forever, and all his servants will remain like something that they aren't really people, like the just household items like candles and stuff like that. So the Beast has to like make Belle love him, so he tries to give Belle his library. So he gives Belle his library, and then they end up cleaning the library because it's been old. And then Belle stays a little longer in the library because she loves books. And then she looks around the books, and she finds this little hidden doorway. And she opens it, and then she finds a desk. And since it's so dark in there, she has to put a candle down. That's like what's in the picture. And then there's a desk, and she opens the drawers, and she finds a book that has the words Nevermore on it. That's what I had over there on my paper. One of the passages I chose is like around that same idea. And it says, after she finds the book, it says, "What are you?" she murmured to the book, as if answering her. The page rippled again. The book seemed to be beckoning to her. She'd put her arm into the silver with no ill effect. What if she stepped into the book? Was that even possible? Belle's heartbeat quickened with excitement as the thought of walking into Nevermore's pages and finding out where the laughter and music was coming from. But something held her back. What was inside those pages? What if she didn't like it in there? How would she get back? She remembered what the Beast had told her about the enchanted books. Most are harmless, but one or two can be a little unruly. If I can handle the Beast, I can handle unruly, she thought. Then she took a deep breath, and she stepped into the story. I chose this part of the book because it's really like, I think it's the climax of the story and makes the reader really want to flip the page to read the next chapter. After she steps into the book, she finds a whole different world. She's literally in Paris. And then at the first part of the story, she almost gets run over by a pack of horses. And then she is saved by this person named Henry. And Henry seems to know her, and he leads her to Eiffel Tower, and like it's like in front of the Eiffel Tower there's a ballroom, and there's a person named Madame Tess, who is actually the mistress of the book, or the writer of the book, who is not actually that person, it's Death. She's a widow, and she seems to know Belle, which she does, and she invites Belle over, and Belle seems to actually like the book. She does like the book. And then one main part of the story is where the mistress of the book invites her over to eat some stuff, like pastries and macaroons and tarts and stuff like that. She sits down with the mistress, and she eats one of the chocolate macaroons, and then suddenly a beetle plops out in front of her, and then the beetle is next to a spider, and then the spider and the beetle walk together into the tart, so like they get all the jam on their legs, and then they write down like something in the book. They wrote, three things eaten, love lies beaten, 3 things lost at dreadful cost. And this ends up affecting the story a lot. So after Belle goes, like she finds her way back until the Beast's castle, and then she keeps on going into Nevermore. Then she eats 3 things, and then she loses 3 things. And then that's when she gets bound to the book, and it's really hard to escape. And my second passage is when she's trying to get out of the book, and Death starts like telling her that she's not actually trying to be nice to Belle. It says, the Countess says, "Because of you, this game was trickier than I thought it would be," she said. "And yet, what fun is any game without a challenge? I can't wait to see my sister's face when I tell her I won. Cogsworth, please, can't you see me?" A movement on her right side caught Belle's eye. She turned her head, fearing it was the Countess, but it was Lucanos, which is the beetle, circling madly. "Use your heart, Belle," he shouted. What did he mean? The Countess was only steps away. How would Belle's heart help defeat her? "Your heart, Belle," the beetle shouted. "Your heart." The beetle was close now and pointing frantically at her chest. Belle looked down and caught her breath. The glass heart, the one the beast had given her, looked as if it were ablaze. Now that Belle was out of the shadowy maze, moonbeams were shining directly down onto the heart, refracting into a million points of light. Astonished, Belle saw that it wasn't plain glass as she'd already thought, or even fine crystal, but diamond. Belle knew that there was nothing harder. She remembered that her father had used a diamond-tipped tool to cut tiny windows for his music boxes, like sheets of glass. Belle yanked the jewel from her neck. Using the heart like a blade, she drew it down the length of Nevermore's page and opened a long, rippling gash. As she did, she heard a shriek of fury. She knew without looking that the Countess was only a few yards behind her. She turned. "Lucanos, Araigné," she said with a choked cry. "Go!" Lucanos bellowed. Thank you," Belle said. The Countess lunged, her clawed hand outstretched, but her fingers closed on air. Belle was gone. I chose this part of the story because it proves that the Beast actually wants Belle to love him. So then the curse will be broken. I would recommend this to people who like Beauty and the Beast, or maybe just people who like novelties.